Okay, so come right up to the front edge of your chair. And you can have shoes on, shoes off. I know a lot of you have towels and things that you bring. And for those who, maybe if your feet get cold, that might be something to think about. Just bring a little towel to put your feet on. Even if you have socks on, I think the floor can get a little bit chilly. All right. So we got a seat up here. We got one over there. And that's it. S- Oh, sorry. And I just called attention to you, right? So sorry about that. That last person that comes in for that chair, they're not going to be happy. All right. Okay. So did you do any yoga while we had a little break here? What did you do? So yes, I know you did. I won't ask you, did you? I know you did. But what did you do? What did you find helpful? What did you do a lot of? Hands, breathing, hands, yeah, and toes, and what else? Legs and hips, I heard. Yeah. Anything you avoided? Trying to figure out what I'm going to do here today. That's all the stuff you didn't want to do, right? Yeah. The hard stuff. The hard stuff. All right. Well, let's start with some breathing since I got many responses for breathing. So if you want to make sure your shoulders are lined up over your hips, so if you're kind of leaning forward a little bit or if you're slouching back a little bit, see if you can bring your posture so that your shoulders are right above your hips. And your feet are nice and flat on the floor. And you might just kind of lift up your toes and then spread them out and put them down again. And then just press down lightly into your feet. So when you press down lightly into your feet, you should feel your leg muscles firm up a little bit. And if you follow that up the chain, you're going to come up into where your backside is on the chair and then up through your spine. Relax your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. So if you're tilting your head or lifting your chin, see if you can just bring the ears over the shoulders a little bit and close your eyes. So if that's uncomfortable, you can keep your eyes open. But if you can close your eyes, you're going to shut out all of the visual distractions that are going on. And then start by simply noticing your breath. Notice what you're aware of with your breathing this morning. The way air moves in and out through your nostrils. The way your lungs fill and empty. Notice where you feel movement in your body as you breathe in and breathe out. And notice the places that you don't feel movement. So as you're exploring, perhaps you're feeling movement in your belly or your waist, but you're not feeling it in your ribs. Or maybe you're feeling it in your ribs, but you're not feeling it in your belly or waist. Do you feel the back of your body moving in response to your breath, or just the front? Do you feel the sides? Maybe one side and not the other. And are you aware of the movement of your thoughts as you breathe in and out? Quite often the mind jumps from one thought to the next. So it might be just this continual movement of thought. Is it fast? Is it slow? Are there many thoughts or just a few? And now see if you can purposefully deepen your breathing so that as you inhale, you can feel your belly and your rib cage expand. And as you exhale, you can feel your belly and your rib cage contract. And this might take a few breaths, a few cycles of breath to get that feeling, that sensation. So breathing in, you feel your belly and your rib cage expand. Breathing out, you feel your belly and your rib cage contract. Breathing in, feel your shoulders rising. Breathing out, drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Breathing in, your jaw softens. Breathing out, your tongue relaxes in the bottom of your mouth. Breathing in, your neck lengthens. Breathing out, release that creasing or furrowing in your brow or around your eyes. Breathing in, your hands feel light. Breathing out, your hands feel heavy. And let your next inhalation get even longer, slower, and deeper. And let your next exhalation get longer and more complete. Take one more really full, deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. And then let it out with a sigh. Let your eyes gently open. And then we'll start with a little movement for the head and the neck. So turn and look out over your right shoulder. Try not to turn your whole body. This is just your neck and your head. And as you're looking out over your right shoulder, turn your eyes as far around in the eye sockets as they'll go. Notice what you can see in your direct vision and in your peripheral vision. And then coming back through center, you're going to turn to the left. Same thing, just turn your head and your neck, and you're looking as far as you can out to the left. Letting the eyes turn in the eye sockets. Noticing what you see in your direct vision and your peripheral vision. Breathing in, breathing out, coming back to center. Good. Now drop your chin down toward your chest. See if you can get your chin right in the little notch of your collarbones. And then lift your chin up and lengthen your neck, not just in the front, but in the back as well. So it's like you're lifting, not just tilting the head back, and then down with the chin. So we'll do this a few times. So the chin is tucking into that little notch in the collarbones. Breathing in as you lift. Breathing out as you drop the chin. And it's just the chin now, so you're not rounding your shoulders. And you're not arching your back. You're just lifting and lowering the chin. It's like a really big slow motion yes. And then next time you come back through that center position, so you're neither lifting nor lowering, we're going to turn to the right and then slowly turn to the left. So it's a very slow motion, no movement. Very slow motion, back and forth. And notice, so for some of us, we're going to hear a little bit of noise in there. Some of us, we're going to feel a little restricted, maybe more restricted on one side than the other. So you're just going to that place where it's a little bit of a challenge for you. So not super easy, but not painful. It's just a little bit of a challenge. And the next time that you come back to center, we're going to hold here in this center position. We'll do that kind of I don't know position, right? So lifting the shoulders and lowering them down, and lifting and lowering, and breathing in and breathing out. So we're yes, no, and then I don't know. Yes, no, and I don't know. All right. And then let's do just kind of a little bit of a half shrug. So just the right shoulder comes up and down, and up and down. So stick on that right side for a few rounds here. Just lifting, lowering. Yeah, and then let's go to the left side. So a little half shrug over there. A little half shrug. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. One more time. Excellent. And now let's roll the shoulders. So we're rolling them up and around. And you may be going forward, you may be going backwards. Again, this might be a noisy proposition doing this. You might feel some restriction somewhere. Maybe it's more on one side than the other. And then let's get just the right shoulder rotating. So we're just rotating that right. And notice how your rib cage gets stretched a little bit when you come up and around, and then go to the left. Now take note, I should have said this before, but take note of the direction that you're circling, right? All right, and let's go back to the right and go the opposite way. And then let's go to the left and go the opposite way. Okay, good. All right, let's get the elbows involved. So we're going to rotate the arms up and around. So we're just starting with the neck. We're going out to the shoulders, the elbows, circling. Notice if you're going backwards or forwards. And then when your elbows are down toward the floor, next time you're going to switch direction. Good. This is going to feel maybe not as nice as the first way because we like our favorites, so we do our favorite. Okay, and then let's get the right one going forward. So it's kind of up and around, up and around. And let's see if we can get the left one going backwards. Oh, So I'm seeing this, which is not the same as this, right? Don't think about it too much. It's like trying to remember something, like you try to remember a name of something, and the more you try to remember, the farther away it gets. It's like you're chasing it out here. Yeah, so you just got to forget about it. Okay, now stop. Left one goes forward. Forward, forward. Right? You got that? No. Left one goes forward, right one goes backwards. Oh boy. This is way harder, right? Way harder. Okay, can you switch midstream? Ooh. Good golly. You guys do look kind of funny. Yeah, just saying. Okay, relax all that. Whew. Let's take that right arm now and imagine you're kind of screwing something into the floor here. So you're going to turn the hand and turn that arm all the way as far as you can with the palm like facing out, right? And then we're going to turn it the other way. So for those who can't see, so I'm just kind of going this way. So we're just down at the floor and we're trying to screw something in from the shoulder. So it's not just your wrist, but it's your elbow a little bit, because you got a little bit of that rotational movement in your elbow, and it's the shoulder as well. And now see if you can come up into your chest and your upper back. So as you roll forward, see if you can round that shoulder a little bit. And then when you come back, you're opening, you're kind of cranking open the shoulder. Can y'all feel that? Yeah. So if you have a wonky shoulder, or you've got like a little bit of pain in there or something, you just don't want to go quite as far. Right? So it should be a challenge, but it shouldn't be painful. And you're breathing as you're doing this, right? So try not to hold your breath. Good. Okay, let's give that arm a little bit of a rest and we'll go over to the other side. So same thing, it's just kind of down at the floor. It's like a big valve or something, and you're trying to screw it open. No, that would be closed. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. So, and I'm doing the opposite of you, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Right? Because you're actually doing your left, but I'm actually doing my right one up here. So we're just kind of cranking that. So now notice, can you feel it all the way up your arm? Can you feel it into your shoulder? And you might be feeling it in the arm muscles, right? So we're really stretching the fascia here in the arms. The fascia is the stuff that wraps everything in your body. It's like the liquid crystal matrix of your body. And one more time, let's see if we can get that whole shoulder. So when you roll forward, see if you can roll the shoulder, kind of collapsing that shoulder in, and then open it up. Got that? Excellent. All right, let's give that a little bit of a rest. And then we're going to do both at the same time. So instead of the arms being way down here, let's come out about 45 degrees. So not way up, but just out about 45 degrees. And then you're going to roll the arms and give a little bend in your elbows when you do this and really rotate from way up here. So it's like, I feel like like a bat, right? It's kind of like a bat wing here. And then we're going to go this way and open the chest. So you're really opening the chest. That's it. And then you're rolling forward. And don't let your head move, okay? So in other words, you're not doing this and this. You're keeping your head level. All this movement is happening in the shoulders and in the shoulder blades. Can you feel that in the back of your shoulders? Right up there? Good, good, good. So we want to get that involved. So which way is more challenging for you? Ask yourself that question. And whichever way is more challenging for you, I'm going to ask you to stay there and hold and breathe for just 2 breaths. Right? Like, so for me, this rotating open, this is a little more challenging for my body. So I'm here. Other people might be rolling forward. So you're breathing in and breathing out and see if you can go a little farther in that direction, even if it's just in your mind that you're going a little farther. Okay, so that's your hard way. So now go your easy way. So go the way that's a little bit easier, and we're going to hold that as well. So again, breathing in, breathing out, relaxing into it, seeing if you can go a little bit farther in that rotation. Good. And then come back to neutral and just let your arms hang by your sides. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a breath in, let it out with a sigh, and just feel. Notice your arms, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. You might notice some tingling, some warmth. You might notice a soreness. So if you've been a little bit tight, if the tissue has been a little twisted in your arms, you could feel a little bit of soreness already. Notice if your arms feel heavy or light, and what's going on in your chest and in your back and in your neck. Good, and then let's open the eyes. We're going to take the hands up and circle the wrists. So we're doing a little bit of work here on the wrists. Our wrists can be noisy as well, right? So you might have some noise in there. And then reverse direction. Good. All right. And then press your palms up like you're saying stop and down. A little bend in the elbows here. So we're just doing this up and down. Notice which way is a little more challenging for you. So is raising the fingers harder than bringing the fingers down, or is bringing the fingers down harder than raising them up? Is it different on the right side, different on the left side? Got that? Okay, so now just the right hand up and down. Good, and you're breathing. Yep. Okay, next time your right hand is up and your left hand is down, we're going to switch. So we're just kind of going back and forth, and this is just at the wrist, right? Just at the wrist. Notice if you're doing this work with your shoulders or your jaw. Are you tight? Yeah, drop that down. Bring a little space between your upper teeth and your lower teeth. This is like the lazy dog paddle, right? We're just kind of really lazy doing this. Duck paddle. Oh yeah, it's like a duck paddle. That's a good one. I like that. I'm stealing that completely. Okay, and then bring your hands together. Now with your hands together, you're going to keep the heels of your hands together. That's right there where your hands and your wrists come together. So you're going to keep the heels of your hands together and bring your hands down as far as they'll go. So I could go farther down, but this is what would happen, right? The heels of my hands would come apart. So I want to go down as far as I can and press your hands together, right? So notice everything that's working. And then we're going to go up and see if you can get your elbows together or close together. And then down. So that's the whole movement. So breathe in and breathe out, keeping the heels of the hands together as you come down, getting the elbows as close as they'll go when you go up. Right? Excellent. How are we doing? Good. Excellent. Okay, we're going to come into sort of that midway position, right? So it's like you've got like you're making a little teepee here with your with your hands, or with your arms rather. So your elbows are below your hands. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the fingers all the way to the right and then fingers all the way to the left. Don't raise your elbows, right? So the elbows stay here. So if you're doing this, keep them right here. It's like you're on the table. Actually, can y'all do this? How about if we do this? That'll keep everybody in integrity. So we're going to bring the fingers to the right and fingers to the left, right? If that's a little too challenging to do, as long as you can keep your elbows level, you can come back up. I just wanted you to see the difference, right? Because see, this is what I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing people raising their elbows. If you have it here, this is a good thing to do at your kitchen table. How are we doing? Good. Okay, and then let's circle that around. Oh. And circle the other way. Right? Great. Let that go, and then let's squeeze and extend the fingers. So we're moving out. I hear some noise out there with the fingers, right? Crack, snap, a little crunchiness. Okay, let's do a little bear claw action, and then a starfish, and then a bear claw and a fist, right? So it's starfish, bear claw, fist, and we'll just keep doing that. Starfish, bear claw, fist. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Try to take a breath. That's it. Good. Good. How are we doing with this? Excellent. Okay. Next time you're in that starfish, hold in the starfish, and you're going to take your thumbs and bring your thumbs over toward that little finger, but don't let your other fingers move. You're going to keep them spread nice and wide. So we're just bringing the thumbs over and back, over and back. So you're touching the palm of your hand where the root of your little finger is. You're not touching your little fingers, right? So the little finger stays extended. Good. And back, and over and back, and over and back. Good. Okay. And now let's touch the pointer finger with the thumb, and then the next finger, and the next finger, and the next finger, and we'll go back. So one at a time, right? If it's easier to bring your arms down, you can do that. Maybe look at them. Your hands, that is, right? So we're just kind of touching the fingers a little bit. Excellent. Couple more times. Great. Still breathing. Wonderful. Shake that out. All right, let's take the hands, interlace the fingers. Notice how you like to interlace your fingers. Which thumb is on the top? We're going to press the palms away. And as you press the palms away, straighten your arms and round through your upper back. So you go from here and you're rounding through that upper back. And then bring it back in. Take a nice deep breath. As you exhale, we're going to bring the hands out, rounding through the upper back. Inhaling as you come back in. Exhaling as you go back out. Inhale as you come back in. Now take your hands and interlace the opposite way. So whichever thumb was on the top is now not on the top. So, and it's not just the thumb, sorry. So you're not just switching your thumb, you're switching the whole orientation. It should feel like you're holding somebody else's hand. Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Okay, so deep breath in. As you exhale, press away. Breathing in, bring it back. Breathing out, press away. Good. Couple more times doing this. So this stretches the muscles in the arms in a little different way. How about one more time out and in? Good. Let's shake that all out. Excellent. All right. Take your right hand out to the side like you're saying, stop, stay away from me. You're too close. And then we're going to come into a little bit of a swan neck. So bending the elbow, bring the back of the wrist right to your shoulder, and then out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Or out and in. If you like it that way, breathe out and then in. How's that? Good. Couple more times. Excellent. Okay, you guys know where we're going, right? Next time you go out, bring that arm up overhead, bend your elbow, bring the palm of your hand to the side of your face or to your chin. So your thumb is facing forward, right? Come all the way up and down. Excellent. Let's try that again. Up, lift, lift, lift. So lift as far as you can. Again, you want to challenge your shoulder, but you don't want to go to a place where it's painful, right? So up, bend the elbow, bring the palm of the hand. So your thumb is facing forward and the palm of your hand is kind of on your face. Good. And then down. Excellent. All right, let's take the thumb and the first finger, bring it together, right? So you've got like a nice little oval there. We're going to take that arm out to the side. So the palm is facing away, elbow bends. See if you can bring that little circle right around your eye. Okay, not like this. Not like that. That's the easy way. We're doing this the hard way, which is like that. Oh, I apologize for everybody wearing glasses right now because you're going to have fingerprints all over your glasses. Let's try that again. So bend and do it the hard way if you can, right? So I see some people doing this. So it's like this. Oh, I stuck my finger right in my mouth. Wow. All right, let's shake that out a little bit. So that's the right hand. So for people who are right-handed, that might have felt fairly easy to do. You'll get a challenge here on the left side. So take your left hand, stop, stay away, get back, Jack, and then bend the elbow in. So we're bringing the back of the wrist as close to the shoulder as we can get it. Now, some people are going to be able to get that wrist right up close to the shoulder. Some people are not going to be able to get it too close. That's okay. So you're just kind of going in that direction. A little bit of a swan neck there. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. So we're just kind of gliding the muscles, gliding the tissue, giving the nerves a chance to kind of stretch out a little bit. And then the next time that you come out, we're going to go all the way up overhead. Bend your elbow, hand to the side of your face. Good. Up and all the way down. So we'll do that a few times. So it's just bringing the arm up, palm faces away, and then palm comes to the side of your face, thumb is facing forward, up and down, and breathe in, breathe out. Now this side might be different, right? So if you've got some limited range of movement in your shoulder, your elbow, your arm, you might be feeling this in a different way. Excellent. I see several of you have taken your glasses off, so you know where we're going. All right, make your little spyglass with your thumb and your first finger, and we'll do that little spyglass thing. So go up, see if you can get your little spyglass there. Now, if this is your left hand and you're not a left-hand dominant person, this may seem extremely difficult to do, right? So again, it's not like that, it's like this. And if you can't get your finger, your little spyglass up, just go as far as you can, right? So we're going up and down, and a couple more times. Yeah, until we can feel that. We're feeling that in the shoulder up here. Yep, my shoulder's saying, okay, enough already. All right, shake that out a little bit. Okay, well, let's take both arms out to the sides. Get your fingers and your thumbs together. So you got two little circles, one on the right, one on the left. Everybody doing okay, right? You know where we're going, right? Yeah. Come all the way up, bend your elbows, make your binoculars. You guys look funny. Come up, out, and around. Good. Let's try that one more time. All the way up, bend your elbows, make your binoculars. Yep, that's tough, right? You can even lift your head and look around. Look around at everybody. See how funny everybody looks? You don't, though, right? No, you look fine. It's everybody else looks weird. Okay, and then release that. Oh, shake that all out. Let your hands rest on your lap and close your eyes. And again, just kind of take notice. So we're just pausing to notice the effects of what we're doing. So notice your shoulders, your chest, your upper back. Notice your neck. Notice your arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, and are you more aware of your fingers, your thumbs, the palms of your hands? And again, you might feel tingling, you might feel warmth, you might just feel a sensation in parts of the arms or hands or shoulders or elbows that you were not aware of before. So we're sort of waking things up. When we don't move certain parts of the body, they can get a little amnesia, right? So they don't remember how to move. So we're just kind of giving them the opportunity to shake off or slug off that amnesia. So take a nice deep breath in, let it out with a sigh. Let your eyes open. Okay, we're going to just give the upper body a little bit of a rest. We're going to take a look down at the feet. So whether you have shoes on or off, whether you have socks on or off, whatever's going on down there, just look down at your feet. And if you can see your toes, that's great. Just notice, are the bottoms of your toes flat on the floor, or do you have some toes that cross over others? Does one tuck under? So quite often our baby toe, for some of us, the baby toe will kind of tuck under a little bit. Sometimes the big toe will cross over. So see if you can lift all your toes up, but keep the knuckles of your feet on the floor. So I talk often about tripods. So it's the heel, the big toe knuckle, and the little toe knuckle. So you want to keep the tripods of your feet on the floor, and you're going to lift up all of your toes. And notice what that does to the rest of your body when you lift your toes. Did your neck and jaw get tight all of a sudden? Did your hands start to clench a little bit? Right? So see if you can relax everything above the ankles. And you're just lifting up your toes. And then you're going to keep all the little toes lifted, and you're just going to tap the big toes down and lift. So you're tapping the big toes down and lift. It's like you're playing chopsticks on the piano with just your big toes. Right? So if you would like to give yourself a little assist and you have this flexibility available, you can reach down and just hold up the toes. If they're starting to drift down with the others, that's one way to start to condition your feet, right? So you're pressing down. And are you noticing that it's easier to do this on one side than the other? Yeah, right? So one foot is generally a little more responsive to this. And then lift them all up, hold your big toes up, and press all the little toes down and lift. So you're pressing just all the little toes, but not the big toes. And this can be a lot harder for some people, right? So those big toes might be saying, no going anywhere without me. I want to be there too. How are we doing? We breathing? No. It'd be a good time to take a breath. Okay, and then relax your feet a little bit. Okay, so just kind of noticing what was harder for you, right? So was moving the big toes harder than moving the little toes, or was moving the little toes harder than moving the big toes? So from here, let's have all the toes on the floor. And then let's see if we can just lift the big toes and lower down. So the little toes stay down on the floor. And we're lifting and lowering, noticing what's happening in your hands, your shoulders, your jaw, your breath, right? Is your breath a little restricted? See if you can let your breath go in and out. Good. And then lower all the toes down. And now we're going to lift all the little toes, but keep the big toes down. So we're lifting and lowering the little toes. So we're getting some independent movement in the toes and the muscles in the bottoms of the feet. Good. And then lower that down and relax. So how many of you found it easier to hold the toes up and lower and lift? And how many found it easier to have the toes down and then to lower and lift? So my question, I'm seeing like faces going, what? What? Let me try that again, because I think it's a me issue. So when you had your toes all lifted, and we were pressing the big toes down and then the little toes down, was that relatively easy or hard? Hard, easy, easy. How many think it was easy? Oh, easier, yeah. Okay, so then when we had all the toes down on the floor and we were lifting and lowering, how many found that easier? Yeah, so there's usually a good mix of things, right? So let's take the right foot and we're going to come up on the toes and stretch the bottoms of the toes, right? So it's like you're standing up on tiptoes, or you're standing in a big high heel. And then we'll switch and go to the other side. So same thing. You're just going to come up and stretch the bottoms of the toes, and we're just going to go back and forth a few times. So again, you want to come to a place where it's a challenge, but there's no pain, right? So if you've got a bunion, or you've got a rigid toe, a rigid big toe, you're going to be very mindful when you do this that you don't create some pain in in this joint here, right? So you don't want to have pain. It might be a little uncomfortable, but not painful. How we doing? Okay. All right. So next time both feet are on the floor, we're going to take the right foot now and turn the top of the foot into the floor. So you're stretching. It's like this. It's like you're pointing your foot and you're stretching through the top of the foot and through the top of the ankle there, right? And then put that down. We'll go the other side. So same thing. Oh, I love this stretch because I hate it so much. It's so good and bad at the same time, right? Because the front of my lower legs, my shins, get really tight. And you might feel the same way there, right? So as you press down into the top of your foot, next time you press down into the top of your foot, press more into the big toe side and notice what that feels like. And then press more into the little toe side and notice what that feels like. So for some of us, it's going to be a little more intense one way or the other. And then go to the other foot, do the same thing. So you're pressing down, go to the big toe side and notice the intensity of that stretch. Go to the little toe side, notice the intensity of that stretch. Let's try that one more time on each side, just so you get a really good flavor for what that is. So the more intense the stretch, you want to stick with that a little bit. So again, for me personally, it's the big toe side. I'm getting a much more intense stretch in through the front of my ankle. So I'm going to stretch that a little bit more than I am the outside, because I obviously need that a little bit more. Okay, let's take that and undo that. So we'll take a moment. Take your right leg now, cross it over your left. So we're just kind of sitting down having a little chat, right? So we're just kind of crossing our leg here. So have your have your left foot underneath your knees. So it's right under there. And then we're going to take the right ankle and circle around. All right? So we're circling around that right ankle and then circle around the other way. Good. One more time, circle the opposite direction. And then the other way. Good, and then relax that. Now we're going to take the bottom of the foot. So there's a piece of gum on the bottom of your foot, and you're going to twist that up and see if you can look at it. And down, right? So again, we're twisting. It's like you're trying to find the piece of gum on the bottom of your foot. And down. Couple more times. Good. So we're getting that little ankle motion there. Excellent. All right. Uncross, recross the other way. So left on top of right, and we'll circle. Circle, circle, circle. And notice how your ankles circle. I didn't say this on the other side, but notice if you feel a roundness as you're rotating your foot, or do you feel like a little flat spot or flat spots? You feel some flat spots. Yeah. Yeah, square. You might even feel a square. And then reverse. So if you're feeling like flat spots or squares or something like that, that's indicating that there's a little bit of mobility opportunity in your ankle that you can explore. So do this a little bit more. So reverse again, because our ankles should be able to do this nice rotation like our wrists. And reverse again. So how easy is this, right, for an exercise? So relax that. How easy is this to do when you're watching TV? Right? Or you're sitting at the table or whatever it is. So now let's look for that gum on the bottom of that foot and down. And again, we're kind of looking for the gum on the bottom of the foot. A couple more times. Good. Excellent. One more time. Great. And then you can uncross that leg. Good. All right, so sit back in your chair. You're going to go all the way back. So now your feet, for some people, the feet are going to be touching the floor. For other people, maybe the toes are touching the floor. And for some, maybe nothing is touching the floor, right? So it doesn't matter. So we're just going to take that right leg. We're going to extend and really firm up the muscles here in the top of the thigh. And then slowly lower down, but keep these muscles nice and strong. All right? Good. So the other leg is just hanging out, right? If your toes are touching the floor, that's great. Try not to, so actually, if your toes or your foot are on the floor, the other side, try not to push off, with that leg. So that's the cheat, right? You can get a little more momentum. So we're just bending slowly and slowly extending as well. Good. How about let's try the other side. So just kind of notice. So extend, and you want to flex your foot. That means your toenails reach toward your shin. And then slowly lower down, breathing in, breathing out. So the upper body's relaxed. Your back is supported in the chair, right? So nobody should have any issues with the low back here. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. One more time. And then down. Good. So just kind of notice, was it easier on one side than the other? Did one leg feel like it could straighten more than the other? Did one leg feel stronger than the other? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the right leg and extend it and hold it there, right? So press out through your heel. Actively draw your toes toward your shin and see if you can feel these muscles right here, nice and strong. You all feel those muscles nice and strong? Okay, so now you're going to continue to hold your right leg like that, and we're going to extend and bend the left. So for those of you who were cheating with your foot on the floor, and you can press yourself into your chair. So you got to use your belly muscles a little bit. Relax your neck and your jaw. Relax your hands. Good. How are we doing? Are you breathing? Oh, got to do that too, right? So we're doing what's called an isometric hold here on the right. We're fatiguing those muscles. Okay, so the next time that your left leg is extended, we're going to hold. So you got both legs up, right? Heels are pressing out, toes are reaching toward your shin. Keep that left leg engaged. So keep that left leg extended, and we're going to bend and extend the right leg. Ooh, feel that, huh? After being extended for a while, that right leg is probably a little more fatigued. So we're going to keep going on this, breathing in, breathing out. You guys are doing great. Excellent. How about 3 more? Can we do 3 more with breath? If you're holding your breath, do 7 more. Okay, and then we can relax all of that. Let the legs relax. Take a breath, close your eyes. Notice the muscles in the tops of your legs, so your thigh muscles. Notice your knees, your lower legs, all of that. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, let's take the legs, cross the left ankle over the right ankle. And now we're going to lift and lower with the legs crossed. So lift and lower, and lift and lower. Good. And breathe in and breathe out. When you get to the top, when you've lifted completely, give these leg muscles just a little bit extra engagement and before lowering down. Good. So again, think about how easy this might be to do sitting at your kitchen table or sitting in a chair somewhere, right? So you can do all of this movement. Instead of just sitting, think about all the things you can do while you're sitting. Okay, next time you lower your legs, we're just going to cross them the other way. And then we're going to do the same thing. So we're working the muscles a little bit differently here in the outsides of the legs. We're inhaling and exhaling. Good. Excellent. Couple more. You guys are doing great. And the next time you lift, can you hold? Ooh, and breathe. And smile. And can you keep your legs extended, uncross and recross? Ooh. How about we go the other way? Oh, that's interesting, huh? Good job, everybody. One more time. Legs should be getting pretty tired now. And then relax everything down. Take a breath. Notice your thighs, notice your knees, notice your legs. Give everything a little massage here, right? So they've been working hard. So these muscles here in the tops of your legs, they're called your quadriceps muscles because there are 4 of them. And these are super important for keeping your knees healthy. or if you've had knee surgery or if you've got a knee issue, this is a great way to strengthen your knees and to reduce some of the pain. So even if you've got arthritis in the knees, you want to be doing strengthening exercises for your quadriceps muscles. Getting up and down out of a chair or squatting, right? So just kind of getting to a position where you squat and kind of hold in that position, that's going to create some strength in those muscles. So if you have trouble going up and down stairs, especially the going downstairs piece, that's a good indication that your quadriceps could use a little bit of strengthening. Okay, we're going to shift gears again, go back to the upper body. So sitting back into your chair, make sure your back is nice and supported there. Okay, and we're going to take the arms and we're going to bring them up in a nice wide V and lean back into your chair a little bit, but don't let your head fall back. Okay, and then we're going to bring the hands forward to the knees. So that's the whole movement here. So as you inhale, sweep the arms up and back, bring them way behind you, and then as you exhale, come back. So that's the whole movement, breathing in and breathing out. And now some of you might be fighting the urge to yawn. Don't fight it. Go with it, right? So that's a natural response to this movement is to yawn, right? So what is yawning? That's a really good question, right? So yawning is kind of your body's way of trying to balance out the oxygen and carbon dioxide in your body. So if things are a little bit off, that will do it. So the next time that you have your arms out and up, we're going to hold here, right? Good. Holding, holding. Breathing in, breathing out. And then bringing the arms all the way down. Great. So notice your shoulders. Let's roll them up a little bit. Notice your shoulder blades. Are they pressing into the back of the chair, right? So we still got the seat nice and firm. We got the low back into the chair. We're going to combine arms and legs here. So the next time that you raise your arms, we're going to raise the legs as well. So we're going to firm up the muscles here and straighten the legs. So we're coming up. Good. And then down. So it's a nice, slow, controlled movement. Breathe in and breathe out. And see if you can bring your feet apart. If you're bringing your feet together, see if you can bring your feet apart. Toes are reaching toward your shin. So activate those feet, right? So you're activating your hands, activating your feet. How are we doing? Good. Are you able to breathe smoothly here? So there's a little bit of core involved, a little bit of core muscles involved here. Great. And down. Okay, and we're going to hold here for a moment. So we were raising arms, both legs. We're going to do them sort of one at a time now. So you're going to raise your right arm and your left leg, right? Got that? So toes are reaching toward your shin, fingers are extended, so it's like a starfish up there, right? So starfish. And then we're going to switch, right? Good. And slow and steady. So the slower you go, the more challenging this is for your body to make that movement, because we can do this in momentum or we can do this kind of thoughtfully, right? Everybody looks great. Couple more. Good. Relax your jaw. Relax your neck. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. Excellent. One more time on each side. Great. And then relax that down. Let your hands rest on your lap. Close your eyes. Take some breaths in and out and notice. Notice your arms. Notice your legs. From your fingers to your shoulders. From your toes all the way up to your thighs. Nice deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Slide forward in your chair and slide over to the right a little bit. So have your left foot planted nice and firmly on the floor. Take your right foot, use your heel and toe, and walk that foot out and walk the foot back. So you're keeping your torso facing forward, right? So don't turn in your chair. You're bringing the foot and the leg out to the side and then back. So again, little challenge for the hips. So we're kind of working the ball and socket of the hip. So your hip is actually the place where your leg bone, if that's the top of your leg bone, the leg bone comes into the socket of your pelvis. So what we're doing is we're rotating it in and rotating it out. So we're getting a little bit of movement in there. Okay, so notice how far out you can go. And now you're going to bring your foot halfway from your furthest extension to where it is directly with the other one. So for most of us, that's about 45 degrees. And now we're going to keep the foot planted on the floor. So don't let the bottom of the foot come up off the floor. And we're going to rotate the knee in and out. And in and out. So don't let your foot, don't come up on the inside edge of your foot or the outside edge of your foot. You're keeping the whole foot flat on the floor. So we've got a little more movement at the ankle now, right? So the ankle is what's restricting us from going farther. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, and now we're going to shift this. So as you come in, roll to the big toe side of your foot. And as you go out, roll to the little toe side of your foot. This way, we're transferring all that movement up into the hip, right? So the ankle joint is no longer restricting us. Let's go back to that more restrictive movement. Once again, placing the sole of the foot flat on the floor, keep it there, and rotate in and rotate out. And you'll notice that you can't bring your knee in quite so far. You can't bring your knee out quite so far, which is a good thing because you don't want your ankle to be quite as mobile as your hip. That would make for a very interesting gait when you walk. Okay, and then free that sole from the floor, and we'll go in and out and get that whole thing going there. Excellent. So we can feel that way up in the hip. Great. Okay, let's walk that foot in. We're going to scoot over to the left side of the chair. So have the left side kind of hanging off a little bit, if that's okay. Right foot is firmly on the floor, directly under that right knee. Now use your left heel and toes and walk the foot out and walk the foot back. So we're just going in and out. Your torso stays forward though, right? So don't twist in your seat. We're keeping that torso forward and we're going out. And go to the place when you bring the leg out, you want to go to a place where, again, you feel some challenge there. It's not like super easy. It's not like, oh, I'm just going in and out. Just kind of go out and, oh, yeah, that's challenging my hip a little bit, or that's challenging my leg a little bit. And then notice about halfway, where the halfway point is. Again, for most of us, that's going to be about 45 degrees. We're going to hold it there. Keep the sole of the foot flat on the floor. Rotate the knee in and out, and in and out. And breathe as you're doing this. As you're moving your knee in, does this knee move in farther than the other one did? Or was the other one able to move in farther? As you move the knee out, same question. Was the other knee able to move out farther, or is this knee able to move out farther? If you've had a hip replacement or you've had hip surgery, that can impact how much rotation you have here when you move in and out. If you've had ankle surgery, same thing. Okay, now let the foot come off the floor. So kind of rolling to the outside edge of the foot and rolling to the inside edge of the foot. And this is where those who've had a hip replacement will really notice a difference, right? So if you've only had one hip replaced but not the other, you're going to notice, wow, there's a different range of movement here. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. Excellent. Couple more. Let's go back to plastering that foot to the floor, so letting the ankle determine how much movement we have. It's a little bit finer motor skill here too. Good. And then let's roll to the inside and roll to the outside. Excellent. And then release that. Scoot that foot back in. We're going to come right back to the center of the chair. Now have your feet on the floor. You want to be right up to the front edge of your chair. Your feet are on the floor. Your hands are resting here on your thighs. And we're going to do a little bit of movement forward and backward for the spine. So we're going to get the whole spine involved here. If you take your chin down toward your collarbones, and then bring your nose down toward your navel. So you're trying to tuck your nose right into your belly button. And then see if you can lean forward a little bit and bring your forehead down toward the floor. So your hands are on your lap so you won't pitch forward. And then you're going to push into your hands and lift up. And as you lift up, you're going to bring your shoulder blades together. I'm going to sit sideways so you can see. So you bring your shoulder blades together, arch your back, and slightly lift your chin. So that's the whole movement. As you exhale, you're going to come forward, rounding, bringing nose to navel, forehead to floor. And as you inhale, you're going to come up, squeezing shoulder blades together, arching the back. Good. Couple more times. So this is movement for the spine. So we're flexing and extending the spine forward and backwards, which we don't get a lot of this kind of reciprocal movement. A lot of us are in this forward kind of, I call it the shrimp posture, right? So your back is like a little shrimp. We're in that position. So it's nice to get into that opposite position and then come to kind of a neutral place. Okay. So now we're going to go side to side. This is also flexion and extension, but we're going to move from side to side. So take your right ear to your right shoulder, and then your right shoulder down toward your right hip. And it's like you're trying to get your head to the floor, but don't let your bum on the other side come up off the chair. And then come all the way up and go to the other side. So first the ear to the shoulder, then the shoulder to the hip, and all the way down, and then slowly back and forth. Now go slow. If you suffer from, a little bit of vertigo, a little bit of dizziness, you don't have to go quite so far. Or if it's easier to close your eyes, sometimes it's a little easier to close your eyes if you feel a little bit dizzy to do this. So think about like, I'm thinking of a tree bending in the wind, right? So it's just this nice long arc to one side, and it's a nice long arc to the other side. And you might notice that, oh, it's easier for me to go in one direction than the other direction. And one more time on each side. Good. Excellent. And then coming back to center. And when you're in the center position, press into your sitting bones and lengthen your spine. Get nice and tall. Now turn your head to the right as far as it'll go. And when you've got your head turned as far as it'll go, turn your shoulders in that direction as well. And then continue from your shoulders to your mid-back, your lower back. So you're twisting as far around as you can. You can even let your left sitting bone come forward a little bit and your right sitting bone go back. Breathing in, breathing out, we're going to unwind and come back through center. Same thing on the other side. So we're lengthening first through the sitting bones, all the way up through the spine. Turn your head first to the left, then your shoulders, upper back, mid back, low back. Let that right sitting bone drift forward and the left sitting bone drift backwards. Come back through center. We'll do that one more time on each side. So start by centering first and lengthening through your spine before you twist. So you want to make sure you're nice and lengthened, and then twisting to the left, to the right rather, and then coming back around and twisting to the left. And then coming back to center. Hands on your lap, close your eyes. Taking a couple of breaths. And notice your fingers, your toes, your hands and feet, your ankles, your wrists. Notice your forearms, your lower legs, your elbows and knees, your upper arms, your thighs, your hips, your shoulders. Notice the front of your body and the back of your body, the right side of your rib cage and the left side of your rib cage. Deepen your breathing so that you feel movement in your ribs as you inhale and exhale. So there should be this expansion and contraction going on in the rib cage as you inhale and as you exhale. Notice what it's like to breathe into your body now, And see if you can remember what it was like to breathe into your body when you first sat down, when we first did this breathing kind of exploration. Does it feel different now? Do you feel like there's a different movement, a different rhythm, something different about your breath? And know that when you make movements to parts of your body that don't get movement on a regular basis, it can change everything about how you breathe. It changes everything about how you inhabit your body. And that's sort of the goal of our time together, is to move those parts that don't get a lot of attention. And take your hands up to your chest and just take a moment to be grateful for your breath. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest underneath your hands. That's a reminder that your breath is happening, that there's a lot going on there. And then if you'd like, you can open your eyes, maybe take your hands and have a little appreciation for each other, for all of us here. Good. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day, beautiful but cold. And I'll see you next time.